ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Om. Dear friends, we are in this 18th chapter, 18th shloka. Jnanam Jneyam Parignyata Trividha Karma Chodana Karanam Karma Karteti Trividha Karma Sangraha. We are in this shloka. We read this shloka, we were halfway through the Bhashyam also. The overall context is that Lord Krishna is basically analyzing the human action. We have seen that this Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Guna, they were described in detail in the 14th chapter, and subsequently also this Rajasata, all those gunas etc. were described in the later chapters also, and whatever has been left over, they are all being discussed in this 18th chapter. And then in the 14th shloka of this say Adhyaya, that is 18th Adhyaya, we saw this adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha pruthak vidham vividhasya pruthak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. These five are the say factors behind any particular activity. So that is what we have seen. So when out of these five are again classified, in the result of these five is again classified into three. That is Kayika, Vachika, Manasa. So Trishu, in these three groups only these three things are put. So that is where we were in the Bhashyam. We read this line in the Bhashyam, that is Trayanam Sannipate Jnanadinam Hitrayanam Sannipate Hanopanadi Prayojanaha Sarvakarmarambha Syat. It is only when this jnana, etc., jnanam, jneyam, parignyata, when all these things, sannipate means when they come together, when they converge, then hana upadanadi prayojanaha. Then a person will decide as to whether he has to go ahead with an action or whether he has to withdraw from the action. That is hana upadana. Hana means to discard. Upadana means to take, to accept. So adi sarvakarmarambha syat. Tataha panchabhihi adhishthanaadhibihi arabdham Vang manah kayashraya bhedena tridha rashi bhutam. That is, whatever has been started by all the five factors, that is adhishthanam, karta, etc., it is classified into three groups, that is vak, manas and kaya. Tridha rashi bhutam. Trishu karanadishu sangruhyate. Sangruhyate means by these three, this karma has been achieved, this particular activity has been achieved. Ityeta duchyate. So till that point we read.
Yes.
So we have to read the next line.
Yeah.
Karanam kriyate anena iti.
Karanam kriyate anena iti.
Bahyam shrotradi antastham buddhyadi.
Bahyam shrotradi antastham buddhyadi.
Karma iti ipsita tamam kartuhu kriyaya vyapyamanam.
Karma iti ipsitatamam kartuhu kriyaya vyapyamanam.
Karta karananam vyaparayita upadhi lakshanaha.
Karta karananam vyaparayita upadhi lakshanaha.
Iti trividhaha triprakaраha karma sangrahaha.
Iti trividhaha triprakaраha karma sangrahaha.
Sangruhyate asminniti sangrahaha.
Sangruhyate asminniti
Sangruhyate asminniti sangrahaha.
Sangruhyate asminniti sangrahaha.
Karmanaha sangrahaha karma sangrahaha.
Karmanaha sangrahaha karma sangrahaha.
Okay. So now we are seeing the third pada. Karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha. So not only third pada but the entire second line. The third and fourth padas. That is karanam jneyam jnanam jneyam parignyata trividha karma chodana we have seen so far. Now we are seeing this karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha. So what is this? What is the meaning of this karanam? Karanam is any sort of, the ordinary meaning of karanam is any implement. Karanam, jnana, karanam, that is we refer to indriyas etc. But here we are not referring to indriyas. Of course we can also, kriyate anena iti. Yeah, we are actually referring to karanam, say indriyas only. So karanam, kriyate anena, that is something is achieved by this. Kriyate anena. By this something is achieved. Then what is this by which something is achieved? Shrotradi. Bhahyam shrotradi. and or else antahkaranam. There are five say organs of say sense, and then there is what is called the antahkaranam, which processes all the data which is submitted to it by all these five say sense organs. Bahyam shrotradi, antastham buddhyadi. Antaha stha, antah plus stha becomes antastha. Antastham is something which is inside, something which is stationed inside. That is buddhyadi. Buddhyadi means mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, those four. So buddhyadi, we have to include all those four. Then karma. Karma, he is giving a meaning which is given in Vyakarana. Karma, how is defined in Vyakarana? Kartuhu ipsita tamam karma. So that is the definition of karma. Kartur ipsita tamam karma. That is the definition. Ipsita tamam means, ipsa means desire. Ipsitam means that which is desired. Ipsa is desired, ipsitam is that which is desired. Khadi, something like khaditam, pitam, something like that. Ipsitam, something which is desired. Ipsita tama means most desired. Ipsita tara, ipsita tama. So the superlative. Kartuhu ipsita tamam. Whatever is most desired by the karta to be achieved. So that is what is karma. So you do some action, in any action at that particular time, that is the greatest thing you want to do, isn't it? Whatever we are doing now, at this time, this is the most important activity for us. Ipsita tamam. So whatever is being most desired by us, so that is the definition by the grammar, by say Panini. So kartuhu kriyaya, buddhyadi, karma ipsita tamam, kartuhu kriyaya vyapyam, ipsita tamam kartuhu, that is kartuhu ipsita tamam. Then kriyaya vyapyamanam, by some action. Kriyaya means by some activity, by some action. You may desire, but you have to perform also, isn't it?
Yes.
You may desire and keep quiet, it is not achieved. You have to do some action also. Kriyaya vyapyamanam. Vyapya, V plus apya. Any karma, there is what is called utpadyam, samskaryam, apyam. You know one word called apyam. Utpadya, samskarya, apyam, nashyam. So all those words we know. Utpadya, that can be produced. Samskarya, which can be reformed or which can be refined. Then apya means which can be acquired.
Okay.
Yeah. Then which can be destroyed. Nasyam. So that those words, there are some other things. Apya, vikarya, samskarya. Yeah, all the vikarya, which can be changed also. So all these words we know. So here, kriyaya vyapyamanam. What is vyapya? V plus apya. That's all. V is an upasarga. V plus apya becomes vyapya. That is that which can be achieved. That's all. That which can be effectively achieved. If you want to, you give the meaning for that V upasarga also. V means it is adding to the meaning of that verb. That's all. Say visheshena or something like that. So something which is achieved quite well. Kriyaya vyapyamanam. Then what is karta? Karananam vyaparayita. Vyaparayita. Vyapara means activity. Vyaparayati means activating something else. Vyaparayita means activator. Literally speaking, activator. So karananam vyaparayita. So I am there, but suppose I don't exercise my mind. I don't exercise my say sense organs. I just close my eyes and then I keep quiet. So I am not doing this activity called vyaparayita. I am not a vyaparayita. Suppose I activate all these things. One who puts all of them into action. Vyaparayita means one who puts them into action. Vyaparayita. Then what is this chap? Upadhi lakshana. This karta is upadhi lakshana. This is in the body-mind complex. This is something which is that upadhi, that itself is the vyaparayita, isn't it? So that is upadhi lakshana iti. Trividhaha, triprakaраha, karma sangraha. In fact, karma sangraha, Nilakantacharya gives a meaning called the body itself. So that is what he says. Nilakantha says Trividha karma sangraha somewhere. Yeah. Karma sangraha karmashrayah karta ityarthaha. So that is what Nilakantacharya says, but I am not sure how far it is correct, because in the shloka itself there is a reference to jnanam karma cha karta cha trividhaiva guna bhedataha. Then, no, the earlier shloka you see, Jnanam, Jneyam, Parignata. Jnata is karta only. Parignata, Trividha, Karma Chodana, Karanam, Karma Karteti. So it has been totally distinguished. Karanam, Karma Karteti, Trividha, Karma Sangraha. So, Trividha. So, Karma Sangraha refers to all the three, not only one. I don't know, maybe I have to think further on this particular point. But anyway, we are concerned with Shankaracharya's Bhashyam. Vyaparayita upadhilakshana iti trividhaha triprakaраha karma sangraha. Sangraha means all the things coming together at one point. Karma ashrayaha. All the things, these three, karanam, karma, karta, they all reside in one place. So that is group, that is one group, that is what is called karma sangraha. Maybe from that point of view he has written karma ashrayaha, karta ityarthaha. So that is what he has written. Karma sangraha, karmanaha sangraha, karma sangraha. That is, all these things, they are coming together. So that is what he says. The next line, karmeshu hi, karmaishu hi, karma yeshu hi trishu.
Karma yeshu hi trishu.
What does your book say? The same thing, isn't it? Yeah, here all things are connected. Okay. Karma yeshu hi trishu.
Karma yeshu hi trishu.
Samavaiti.
Samavaiti.
Tena ayam trividhaha karma sangrahaha.
Tena ayam trividaha karma sangraha.
So, yeshu hi trishu, in these three things, karma samavaiti. Samavaiti means samavaya sambandha, you know. Samavaya means getting connected. Samavaiti means it gets connected. It is connected. Actually, performance of karma is connected with these three things. In these three things, karma stands connected. So that is tena ayam trividhaha karma sangrahaha. Any activity is connected with these three, so that is why trividhaha it is said. This karma sangraha is of three types, or rather it consists of three factors. Then atha idanim kriyakaraka phalanam sarvesham gunatmakatvat
kriyakaraka phalanam sarvesham gunatmakatvat
sattva rajastamo guna bhedataha
sattva rajastamo guna bhedataha
trividhaha bhedaha vaktavyaha ityarabhyate
trividaha bhedaha vaktavyaha ityarabhyate
jnanam karma cha iti.
jnanam karma cha iti.
Atha idanim, now kriya karaka phalanam sarvesham. So now we have seen earlier there are several things which have been told. So jnanam he said, jneyam he said, parignyata he said, karanam he said, karma he said, karta he said. So out of these, parignyata and karta are one and the same, isn't it? Then jneyam and karma, they are both jada. Jneyam and karma, they don't directly participate and then they are not affected by the three gunas. Then what is left over? Jnanam is one which is left over. Then karma is, Jneyam and karanam. Jneyam and karanam. Karanam is that implement. So that these two are jada. These two things, they are not affected by sattva rajas tamo gunas. It depends on the doer. So what are the left over? Jnanam is left over. Karma is left over. Jnata is left over. Jnata otherwise karta. So we are going to see these three things in the light of sattva rajas tamo gunas. Number one is jnanam. Three types of jnanam: satvika jnanam, rajasa jnanam, tamasa jnanam. Then karma, satvika karma, rajasa karma and tamasa karma. Then karta, satvika karta, rajasa karta, tamasa karta. These three things which we are going to see. Because jnata and karta are one and the same. You follow?
Yes, sir.
Then jneyam and karanam, they are jada. They are not affected by this. They are actually dependent on the doer, isn't it? So, where this varying factors, where do they come? Jnanam is one, then karma is one, and karta. So, these three things, they are going to be analyzed in the next 9 shlokas, let us say, in the next 9 verses. And then this is again an introduction to what follows, this particular shloka which we are going to read. So, atha idanim kriyakaraka phalanam sarvesham. Of all these things, what were kriya, karaka and phala, all these things, they are being analyzed from the point of, they are gunatmakatvat, because they are affected by these three gunas. They can be characterized from the point of view, they can be analyzed or examined from the point of view of these three gunas. So gunatmakatvat, sattva rajas tamo guna bhedataha, from that point of view. Trividhaha bhedaha vaktavyaha. Three types of differentiation can be made. Vaktavyaha means it has to be told. Iti arabhyate. So Krishna is starting from that point of view. So let us see the shloka. ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च
ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च
त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः
त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः
प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने
प्रोच्यते गुणसंख्याने
यथावत् शृणुतान्यपि.
यथावत् शृणुतान्यपि.
So what Lord Krishna has done is, whatever, there are 6 points told in the earlier shloka, that is 18th shloka. There are 6 things which are told: jnanam, gneyam, parignata, karanam, karma, karta. So those 6 points he is condensing into 3, because 2 are one and the same. Parignata and karta are one and the same. The other 2 are taken out, so the remaining 2 are there. So 3 points he has condensed, that is jnanam, karma cha, karta cha. So these 3 things, tridha eva guna bhedataha. Guna bhedataha means by virtue of their gunas, by virtue of the sattva guna, rajo guna, etc., etc. Tridha eva becomes tridhaiva. Tridha means 3 types. Tridha, trividha. Then jnanam, karma cha, karta cha. Here karma means not ipsita tamam. Karma means action. Karma in the earlier shloka we saw ipsita tamam, a grammatical meaning was given. But here karma means in the normal sense in which we have been talking about karma yoga, etc. In that sense, karma means a kriya, an action. Jnanam. So jnanam, any particular, not referring to Brahma jnanam, it refers to any particular jnanam, any particular knowledge of a particular vastu. So trividhaiva gunabhedataha prochyate means uchyate. It is well said. Para plus uchyate, prochyate. Guna Sankhyane. Guna Sankhyana is referring to Sankhya Shastra. Sankhya, till now we have not accepted Sankhya in earlier shlokas. Earlier shlokas, whenever the word Sankhya came, we referred to it as Jnanam. Sankhya Yoga. Samyak Khyayate Atma Tattvam Anena iti Sankhyam. So that is what we saw. But here, Guna Sankhyane, Shankaracharya is specifically accepting, specifically saying that these Sankhyas, they are also experts. They are also experts in this analysis of human behavior, analysis of human nature. So that is what Shankaracharya says. And so long as it does not contradict with our final doctrine, we are going to accept. So whatever is, aviruddham with the doctrine, we are going to accept. Whatever is contradicting our final doctrine, that particular portion we reject. So Prakriti is independent according to Sankhyas. According to us, the basic point between Sankhya and Advaita is, Sankhya says Prakriti is independent and then Purusha is independent. We say that Prakriti is only a manifestation. Prakriti is only a manifestation of that Purusha or Brahman, what we call Brahman. It is only a manifestation, that is what we say. If you want to use modern terms, consciousness manifesting as matter. So that is the modern equivalent for that Prakriti, Purusha, Maya and Brahma. So this is the modern equivalence. So Guna Sankhyane here refers to Sankhya Siddhanta. Yathavat Shrunutanyapi. Yathavat means as it is Shrunutanyapi. So that those also. Tani means tatte tani api. Those also. So let us read the Bhashyam. The shloka must be clear.
Yes, sir.
Jnanam karma cha.
Jnanam karma cha.
Karma kriya.
Karma kriya.
Na karakam paribhashikam ipsitatamam karma.
न कारकं पारिभाषिकं ईप्सितं कर्म.
कर्ता च निर्वर्तकः क्रियाणां.
कर्ता च निर्वर्तकः क्रियाणां.
त्रिधैव अवधारणं.
त्रिधैव अवधारणं.
गुणव्यतिरिक्त जात्यन्तराभाव प्रदर्शनार्थं.
गुणव्यतिरिक्त जात्यन्तराभाव प्रदर्शनार्थं.
गुणभेदतः सत्त्वादिभेदेन इत्यर्थः.
गुणभेदतः सत्त्वादिभेदेन इत्यर्थः.
Okay, this is the first line. So jnanam karma cha. What is karma? Jnanam, of course, he is not explaining. Jnanam, we know that it refers to any knowledge of a particular vastu. Then karma. Karma is, we are referring not to ipsita tamam karma which we saw in the earlier line. Kriya, that means any action or activity. Na karakam. Karakam is kartrukaraka, karmakaraka, karanakaraka. We again go back to grammar. Kartrukaraka, karmakaraka, that is the connection between the verb and the, say, agent or karta. So that is what is karma, karaka, isn't it? So karakam there, what is the definition given? Kartu ipsita tamam karma, isn't it? So not that. He specifically says na karakam paribhashikam ipsitatamam karma. Paribhashikam means that particular paribhasha. According to that paribhasha, according to that terminology of Vyakarana, ipsitatamam karma. We know that before Panini was much before Shankaracharya. Panini was about some 600 BC. Some 600 BC. He is from some small village near the present day Karachi, Pakistan. So that is the background of Panini. So that is, we know that it is the first ever grammar say of mankind. And of course, prior to him also there were several grammars in India, but then they are all lost. The first available grammar in the whole world is that Panini's grammar now. So paribhashikam means paribhasha, we know. Paribhasha is terminology. Paribhashikam means something relating to that grammar, the terminology of grammar. Ipsitatamam karma. Then karta cha. Karta, what is karta? Nirvartakaha. Nirvartakaha means a performer. Nirvruttam, all those words we have seen. Nirvartakaha, one who performs, one who does a particular activity is called Nirvartakaha. Nirvartakaha kriyanam. Kriyanam nirvartakaha. Then tridhaiva. Tridha eva. Threefold only. Eva is avadharanartham. Avadharana means to emphatically say that nothing more is there. To emphatically say avadharana, ityavadharana, we say avadharana means yes, know this as the correct thing and nothing further. So that is avadharana. To emphatically, to firmly say. To firmly say assert a particular thing, that eva shabda is used. So tridhaiva avadharanam gunavyatирикта jatyantarabhava pradarshanaartham. Gunavyatирикта means apart from the gunas. Gunavyatирикта jatyantarasya abhavaha. Apart from these three gunas there is no other jati. Abhava means absence. Absence is one, and then what else can we say? Non-existence, not absence, non-existence. So the non-existence of any other jati apart from these three gunas. You followed?
Yes, sir.
Guna Vyatirikta means, you see, whatever you see in the universe can be categorized only into three gunas. Three gunas, sattva, rajas, tama, permutations, various permutations and combinations. You take sattva guna in 0 to 100 scale, rajo guna 0 to 100 scale, and tamo guna 0 to 100 scale. So if you do like that, there are so many proportions, and we know that everything on earth, whether it is sentient or insentient, is a mixture of all these three. In some they are quite manifest, and in this pencil they are not manifest, but then in this pencil also is a product of this sattva, rajas, tamo guna, isn't it? So that is, when that is so, then this sattva guna can be say 5% or 2%, rajo guna maybe 10%, then tamo guna maybe say the remaining 90 odd %. So like this you calculate these permutations and combinations, maybe millions of combinations will come, because 100 into 100 into 100 and so many times, I am not very sure about the computations, so many millions of possibilities are there. So apart from these three there is nothing else, isn't it? Apart from these three, guna vyatirikta. Guna vyatirikta means apart from guna, jatyantarasya abhava. That is non-existence of any other jati. Jatyantara means any other jati. Jatyantaram, like we say lokantaram. Lokantaram means gramantaram gatavan. Gramantaram means another gramam. Lokantaram means another loka. Jatyantaram means another jati. Jatyantarasya abhavaha, non-existence of the non-existence of any other category apart from these three. So that is the meaning of this. Tasya pradarshanartham. Pradarshanartham means in order to show that, in order to tell that guna, we say that is why tridhaiva, that avadharana is only to say that there is nothing, there is no other classification apart from these three. There is no other way of classifying. You see, human behavior, the whole human behavior is characterized in these things only. You take modern psychology, there are so many types of classifications, but they can all be brought under this only. Suppose somebody says, somebody classifies on the grounds of, say, an extrovert and introvert. Someone else classifies as somebody, some sort of modern terms, which I forget suddenly. Say some so and so performer, some what do we say? So anyway, some classification. But whatever classification is there, they all come under the sattva, rajas, tamo guna only, and nothing else. Then, and what type of leadership? Some charismatic leadership is one. Then there is another type of bureaucratic leadership. There is another type of leadership, authoritarian leadership. Any type of classification you see, classification of a leader, classification of a performer, classification of anything, it comes under these three only and nothing else. So that is why that eva shabda. Guna bhedatah, that sattva adi bhedena, sattva adi bhedena, sattva by in these three varieties only, prochyate, kathyate. Prochyate means it is told like that. Then guna sankhyane kapile shastre tadapi guna sankhyanam shastram guna bhoktru vishaye pramanameva paramartha brahmaikatva vishaye yadyapi viruddhyate tehi kapilaha guna gauna vyapara nirupane abhiyukta iti तच्छास्त्रमपि वक्ष्यमाणार्थस्तुत्यर्थत्वेन उपादीयते इति न विरोधः. Fine. So guna sankhyaane. So Shankaracharya gives the clear meaning as Kapile Shastre. Kapila means belonging to Kapila is Kapila. Tadhita pratyaya, Vasudeva, Vasudeva, something like Dasharatha, Dasharathi, Kapila, Kapila. Kapila Shastra. Kapile Shastra is Saptami. So in that Kapila's Shastra, what is that Kapila's Shastra? Kapila is the Rishi who is supposed to have, say initially formulated this Sankhya Shastra, Sankhya Siddhanta, he is supposed to have formulated. So Kapile Shastra. And then Tadapi Guna Sankhyanam Shastram, that particular Shastra which talks about these three gunas, Guna Sankhyanam. Sankhyanam means counting. Sankhyanam actually means categorization, counting. Say Samyak Khyapanam. So that is properly explaining, properly telling about those three things. Then Guna Bhoktru Vishaye Pramanameva. That particular Shastra is also an authority. It has to be taken, it can be taken as an authority in that Guna Bhoktru Vishaye. What are these gunas and who is a Bhokta, according to which guna, what is the meaning of a Bhokta. So in those matters, that Shastra is also a Pramana. Though not, Yadyapi, even though Viruddhyate means it contradicts, where Paramartha Brahmaikatva Vishaye. So here in that Brahmaikatva Vishaye, Jiva Brahmaikatva Vishaye, on the issue of or with regard to this unity of this Jiva with this Brahman. So that Paramartha Brahmaikatva Vishaye means that Supreme Brahman, that absolute reality, Jiva is the same as that absolute Brahman. So in that particular Vishaye, Yadyapi Viruddhyate, though it contradicts us, so long as we consider at a slightly lower level, so long as we analyze human behavior from the point of view of these three gunas, it is okay. We don't bother about it. So Tehi Kapilaha, because these Kapilaha, because these Kapilaha means the followers of Kapila. Kapilaha Guna Gauna Vyapara Nirupane Abhiyuktaha. Guna Gauna. Guna means these particular three gunas. Gauna means something relating to guna. Something relating to guna is gauna. So Guna Gauna Vyapara Nirupane. Vyapara means their activities. How they manifest in a person. What type of activity is called tamasa activity, what type of activity is this. So manifesting in different fashions. That Vyapara Nirupane. Nirupane means in analyzing. Nirupana here means analyzing. In Nirupana normally we use it in the sense of proving. But here analyzing, let us say. In analyzing this Guna Gauna Vyapara, they are Abhiyuktaha. Abhiyuktaha means experts. Panditaha. Abhiyukta means an expert, a Pandita. Pandita iti. That Shastramapi. That Shastram also, that Sankhya Shastram also, Vaksyamanartha Stutyarthatvena Upadiyate. So it is that Shastra is also being accepted in order to say praise, not exactly praise, let us say in order to tell the greatness of, that means in order to tell the greatness of, tell the importance of, in order to tell the importance of the Vaksyamanartha, the subject which is going to be told. So now Shankaracharya, Lord Krishna, is going to examine this jnanam, karma and karta from the point of view of these three gunas. So in order to explain the importance of that particular analysis, this Sankhya Shastra also is being told. So that is what Shankaracharya is commenting. Vakshyamana artha stutyarthatvena. In order to tell the importance. Usually this word stuti we use in a different way. Stuti means just by way of compliment, by way of praise we say. But here it is not like that. Slight difference. That is, in order to emphasize the importance of the thing which he is going to say. So that is Vakshyamana artha stutyarthatvena upadiyate. Upadiyate means it is accepted. That particular Sankhya Shastra is also being quoted. That Kapila Shastra is also being quoted in order to emphasize the importance of this particular analysis of human behavior. So that is overall meaning. Iti na virodhaha means there is no contradiction in this particular angle, in this particular point. Then yatavad yathanyayam yathashastram
यथावत् यथान्यायं यथाशास्त्रं
shrunu tanyapि
शृणु तान्यपि
ज्ञानादीनि तद्भेदजातानि
ज्ञानादीनि तद्भेदजातानि
गुणभेदकृतानि शृणु
गुणभेदकृतानि शृणु
वक्ष्यमाणे अर्थे मनस्समाधिं कुरु इत्यर्थः.
वक्ष्यमाणे अर्थे मनस्समाधिं कुरु इत्यर्थः.
Okay, he says yathavat. Yathavat means as it is. Yatha nyayam, and as per reason, as per logic. So it is all logically, which is logically explained. Then yatha shastram, as mentioned in the scriptures or as mentioned in the shastra. Shrunu tanyapi, those things also you listen. What? Jnanadini, tad bheda jatani. This jnanam, karma, karta, in these three things. Bheda jatam, different types of, so many varieties of all these things. You listen. So many, all the varieties in that, you please listen. So that is what he said. He says, Guna Bheda Kurtani Shrunu, Vakshyamani Arthe Manas Samadhim Kuru. Manas Samadhim Kuru means concentrate your mind. Don't divert. Maybe we should not think that Arjuna was looking this way or that way. But anyway, Manas Samadhim Kuru means you carefully listen. You carefully listen. He is again drawing attention of Arjuna. You again say carefully listen. Ityarthaha. Then, ज्ञानस्य तु तावत् त्रिविधत्वम् उच्यते.
ज्ञानस्य तु तावत् त्रिविधत्वम् उच्यते.
Now, तावत् means okay. Now, in that sense, ज्ञानस्य तु तावत्. Now, about that ज्ञान, त्रिविधत्वम् उच्यते. The threefold nature of ज्ञान is being told in this particular shloka. Let us read the shloka. Sarvabhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tadjnanam vidhi satvikam. Fine. Sarvabhuteshu yena ekam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu. You see, sarvabhuteshu, in all beings, because all the beings are by way of upadhi only. All the beings are by way of upadhi for one and only one substance. Just as so many ornaments, the example of ornaments also is given by some commentator Nilakantha. Just as all the ornaments are of one particular substance called gold. So all these bhutani, they are again the vikara of the same Maya, and Maya is an appearance in that Supreme Brahman. So all other things which are just vikaras of the same substance, they are all one and the same. So this particular say vision of unity, it is something which is unique, which we have to see. So you see here, this jnana is now being analyzed in the framework of three gunas. Here we see the working of the human, the Indian mind rather. We are always trying to see the unity. In fact, yesterday that's a meeting also, in that seminar also we were seeing. Our approach is to see unity everywhere, not diversity. Whereas the other people, they want to see diversity, they want to encourage diversity, they want to divide people on the basis of diversity. If they encourage diversity and then encourage, it's okay. But then if they try to create divisions, that is wrong. Creating diversity and encouraging divisions, that is something which is wrong. So anyway, we are here seeing how our approach, our whole philosophy is totally different from the other people, from that of the other people. So, sarva bhuteshu yena means yena jnanena, by which jnana. Ekam bhavam avyayam ikshate. Ekam bhavam means only oneness, one particular thing. Ekam bhavam, one particular thing. Avyayam, that which doesn't change. Avyayam ikshate means that which sees. That jnana by which one sees. The jnana by which one sees one thing in all, one undeclining thing in all these things. Bhavam avyayam ikshate. Then vibhakteshu avibhaktam. Vibhakteshu means in all things which apparently look so divided. Vibhakta, in all these things which apparently look as though they are all divided, they are all distinct. In all these things, avibhaktam. Avibhaktam ekam avyayam. This avibhaktam can be taken to the first line also. Avibhaktam ekam avyayam ikshate. Yena jnanena, purushaha, a person, yena jnanena, avibhaktam avyayam ikshate. So one, he sees that one undivided principle. That one undivided principle a person sees because of his understanding, because of his higher understanding. You see, a man with a lower understanding, he cannot see that unity. Only with a person with a high understanding, he can see the unity. So, avibhaktam yena jnanena ikshate, tat jnanam satvikam vidhi. That particular jnanam by which one sees unity, that particular jnanam which enables a person to see unity. So, that jnanam is satvikam. That jnana is something which is laudable, that is something which is praiseworthy. So, that is the meaning of this shloka. Is the shloka clear?
Yes.
Let us see the bhashyam.
Yeah.
Sarvabhuteshu avyaktadi sthavaranteshu bhuteshu
सर्वभूतेषु अव्यक्तादि स्थावरान्तेषु भूतेषु
येन ज्ञानेन एकं भावं वस्तु
येन ज्ञानेन एकं भावं वस्तु
भावशब्दः वस्तुवाची
भावशब्दः वस्तुवाची
एकम् आत्मवस्तु इत्यर्थः.
एकम् आत्मवस्तु इत्यर्थः.
Okay. Sarvabhuteshu. What are these bhutas? Avyaktadi sthavaranteshu bhuteshu. So here for this word avyakta, we should not take maya, because avyakta is something which is not a bhuta. Avyakta is not yet become a bhuta. So it becomes bhuta only from the level of Hiranyagarbha. So we have to take meaning of Hiranya for this word avyakta. We have to take the meaning of Hiranyagarbha and not maya. Sarvabhuteshu avyaktadi, starting from Hiranyagarbha, sthavaranteshu, right down to a blade of grass. Sthavaranteshu, bhuteshu, in all the things which have come into existence, which all these derived, all these derivatives from that maya, yena jnanena ekam bhavam, the jnana by which a person sees one vastu, one bhavam. And what is that vastu? Bhava shabdaha vastu vachi. So here this bhava shabda also means meaning, isn't it? What is the bhava artha we say? Bhava also means meaning. So bhava has several meanings also. Bhava also means money. Here of course bhava means a vastu, a particular object. And what is the object here? Bhava shabdaha vastuvachi. Ekam atma vastu ityartha. Here we are referring to this atma vastu. Here we are referring to that particular atma, that particular chaitanya, which is the illumining factor for all the beings. So that is what is the vastu which the person sees. Then avyayam na vyeti swatmana dharmairva kutastha nityam ityarthaha. Okay, avyayam. We have seen this word avyayam, na vyeti, not declines. So that is one thing. Then this changing happens in two ways. Swatmana. Swatmana means the whole thing may undergo some change. Or dharmairva. Dharma means a property. We are not referring to dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We are referring to dharma, property, vastu dharma. Vastu dharma means a property. So dharmairva, by suppose an object changes its properties. Suppose the same pen, it changes its color. Suddenly it becomes round, it becomes spherical in shape. So it changes, isn't it? So avyayam na vyeti swatmana dharmairva. So this consciousness is something which does not change. The nature of that consciousness does not change, and there are no dharmas at all. Swatmana dharmairva, there is no question of undergoing any change. Swatmana dharmairva, even if some properties change, a thing can change, isn't it?
Yes.
So here, this is the nature of consciousness, which has no specific properties. So it doesn't change. So dharmairva, then what is it? Kutastha nityam. Kutastha, something like that anvil of that ironsmith, it is something which is kutastha, which is unchanging in nature. Then ikshate yena jnanena pashyati.
ईक्षते येन ज्ञानेन पश्यति
Tam cha bhavam avibhaktam
तं च भावम् अविभक्तं
pratideham vibhakteshu dehabhedeshu
प्रतिदेहं विभक्तेषु
dehabhedeshu.
देहभेदेषु
Your book says dehi.
भेदेषु
Oh, it doesn't matter. Dehi bheda, deha bheda, it doesn't matter. Deha bhedeshu na vibhaktam tad atma vastu
न विभक्तं तत् आत्मवस्तु
vyomavat nirantaram ityarthaha.
व्योमवत् निरन्तरम् इत्यर्थः.
Okay, then tamcha bhavam. And what is that bhavam? Avibhaktam. That is the same, some more adjectives for the same thing, so that same entity which is present in all things in such an undivided manner. Avibhaktam pratideham. In all the bodies, pratideham means in all the bodies, vibhakteshu dehabhedeshu, though there are some, or dehi bhedeshu, it doesn't matter. Though there is a bheda, though there is so much of division in the bodies, in the human beings or animals or whatever it is, in so many things, dehabhedeshu, that particular vastu, that atma vastu is na vibhaktam, that is something which is not divided. Then why vyomavat nirantaram? Nirantaram means, antaram means a gap. Nirantaram means something which doesn't have any gap. There is no question of any gap in consciousness. There is no question of any gap because it is something which is all pervading. There is no division. You can't say that Atma is here, Atma is not there, Atma is not somewhere else, something like that. So it is there. It is something which it is manifest everywhere. So that is why it is nirantaram, where there is absolutely no gap, there is no absence, there is no non-existence of Atma in any place. So that is it. Nirantaram ityartha tad jnanam
तज्ज्ञानम्
advaitatma darshanam
अद्वैतात्मदर्शनं
satvikam samyak darshanam vidhi iti.
सात्विकं सम्यक् दर्शनं विद्धि इति.
So that jnanam, what is that jnanam? Advaitatma darshanam, that non-dual, the darshanam, the vision of that non-dual, say, consciousness everywhere, that particular consciousness which is unfailingly present everywhere, that only one thing which is present everywhere. So all that particular darshanam, that is what is samyak darshanam, that is the right understanding, right vision, that is what is called satvikam vidhi. So we are now seeing that satvika jnanam is equal to real knowledge. Satvika jnanam is seeing the unity, and this is what we repeatedly see in so many places, so many passages in say the Upanishads. I particularly refer to one Madhu Brahmanam in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, so where the principle of interdependence of everything is shown, and everything is again one only. Only one is seen as so many things, and all these so many things are again interdependent and interconnected on one another. So nothing is independent in the universe. So that is it. Nothing is independent in the universe. Everything is dependent on everything else, and everything, all things are one and the same. So that is the sum and substance of Madhu Brahmana. And in fact, Buddhists also, I refer to that also, Pratitya Samutpada, the principle of, say what is that origination? Dependent origination, they say. The principle of dependent origination. So they also use similar things, but ultimately they refer to Shunya, whereas we say it is Atma. So this knowledge is Samyak Darshanam Vidhi Iti. Then Yani Dvaita Darshanani Asamyak Bhutani
यानि द्वैतदर्शनानि असम्यक् भूतानि
Rajasani Tamasani Cha Iti
राजसानि तामसानि च इति
Na Sakshat Samsarochittaye Bhavanti.
न साक्षात् संसारोच्छित्तये भवन्ति.
So he says, Yani Dvaita Darshanani, those which are Dvaita Darshanas, those visions, those perceptions which see duality. Duality means not only two, duality means diversity. Duality means not two, but it can be, say, any number. So those that type of understanding which sees divisions everywhere, division and all that, that is asamyak bhutani. That is something which is not the right type of understanding. That is rajasa and tamasa, motivated by this rajoguna and tamoguna. Rajoguna means Dominating others. If you want to dominate others, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to divide and rule. So that is what we have seen in the last so many years. So the divide and rule. So Rajasani, Tamasani cha iti na sakshat samsarochittaye bhavanti. They do not lead to liberation or destruction of this samsara. Not liberation, destruction of this samsara. Samsara uchitti. Uchitti means just plucking out. Uchitti. Samsarasya uchitti. That is uprooting this samsara, destroying this samsara. So all this type of Rajasa vision and Tamasa vision, Rajasa understanding or Tamasa understanding, will not help a person in getting out of that samsara. Samsarochitti or destruction of that samsara can happen only with a Sattvika type of understanding, because a person who is in that Sattvika understanding, he doesn't see diversity. Then again, Dvitiyadvai Bhayam, when he sees diversity or duality, then only there is Bhayam, there is paranoia. So the Western principle is only paranoid survive, because they are always in a state of paranoia. So we are not so much in a state of paranoia, because we are still by and large having some remnants of our vision. We still see, we still have some sense of unity. So that is why we are more happy beings than other people. So anyway, this Rajasa and Tamasam cheti na sakshat uchittaye bhavanti. Sakshat means directly. So here of course one commentator writes, they may be parampara sadhanas but not sakshat sadhanas. Sakshat and parampara we know. Sakshat means directly. Jnanam is something which directly leads to liberation, leads to cutting off all bondages. Whereas other things, they don't, the other things are paramparaya sadhanani. So of course one commentator, though this commentary is by Bellamkonda Ramaraya Kavi, other people have not given this parampara etc. So here in this other two also, unless it is going to lead towards this particular jnana, it will not lead to liberation. So that also we have to understand. Na sakshat samsarochittaye bhavanti. They will not lead, those understandings, they will not lead to the destruction of this samsara. Then the next shloka, pruthatvena iti. Now we are coming to see this Rajasa Jnanam. What is this Rajasa Jnanam? Pruthatvena tu yajnanam. Nana bhavan pruthagvidhan. Vetti sarveshu bhuteshu. Tajnanam vidhi rajasam. So we have seen that unifying vision, that is vision of unity as Sattvika. Then this vision of diversity as Rajasa. So that is what is it. Pruthatvena. Pruthak, we know the meaning of pruthak. Pruthak means separate. So pruthaktvam means being separate. Pruthatvena, seeing as though they are all separated. Pruthatvena darshanam. Yat jnanam pruthatvena. Then nana bhavan. Bhava refers to vastu. So many vastus. Pruthagvidhan. So many types. Bhava last shloka also. Bhava referred to vastu. Pruthagvidhan. Different types. So we are only analyzing diversity. Analyzing diversity. Vetti sarveshu bhuteshu. In all things, in all the beings, we are only analyzing the diversity, we are only analyzing the difference and then trying to put them in various slots and pigeonholes. So that is what is, examining diversity. Then tat jnanam vidhi rajasam. That particular jnana may be useful for administration, may be useful for controlling people, so that is okay, but not for jnana. That does not lead to liberation, that may lead to control, and control is what Rajasa is. Rajasa is somebody who is supposed to be a ruler or a king. He is supposed to control people. For him, that particular jnana may be useful, but not for a jnani, who is a person who is on a jnana path. So, pruthatvena yad jnanam, nana bhavan, pruthagvidhan, he sees different beings and different types, different beings and different types, nana bhava, pruthagvidha. Then vetti sarveshu bhuteshu. So, in all the beings, he sees only diversity. Tad jnanam, that particular type of jnanam is rajasam. Shloka is simple. Let us see the bhashyam. Pruthatvena tu bhedena. Pratishariram anyatvena.
प्रतिशरीरम् अन्यत्वेन
यत् ज्ञानं नानाभावान् भिन्नान् आत्मनः
यत् ज्ञानं नानाभावान् भिन्नान् आत्मनः
पृथग्विधान् पृथक् प्रकारान्
पृथक् विधान् पृथक् प्रकारान्
भिन्नलक्षणान् इत्यर्थः.
भिन्नलक्षणान् इत्यर्थः.
Okay. So पृथक्त्वेन, पृथक् means भेदेन. Then how, what type of bheda? Pratishareeram anyattvena. In every body it is different. This is different, he is different, he is different, he is different, etc., etc., etc. In that manner, yat jnanam, that particular jnana, nana bhavan, all different beings. Nana bhava here means being, a vastu, nana bhavan, bhinnan atmanaha. It is also understanding them as bhinna atma. Of course, here, if we are referring to this philosophical tradition, we are referring to this Tarkika tradition, because Tarkikas, they accept this diversity of Atmas. They see, we have to see not only this, I was explaining from a sociological point of view, but we have to see the philosophy actually. In that philosophy, Advaita says Atma is one. Then whereas Tarkikas, they say Atma, every body-mind complex, there is a separate Atma. So, Bhinnan Atmanaha. So, they see different Atmas in every body. And then Pruthak Vidhan, Pruthak Prakaran of different types. Then Bhinna Lakshanan. All this Atma, the individual Atma is totally different in each being. Then Vetti Vijanati Yat Jnanam.
Vetti Vijanati Yat Jnanam.
Okay, by that Jnanam by which he understands like that. Vetti means Vijanati, he knows. Yat Tat Jnanam. Then Sarveshu Bhuteshu Jnanasya Kartrutva Sambhavat Yena Jnanena Vetti Ityarthaha. Jnanam does not directly know. So that is what he says. Jnanasya Kartrutva Sambhavat. Kartrutvam means being a karta. The status of being a karta is Kartrutvam. Jnanasya Kartrutva Asambhavat means Jnana cannot be directly be the karta. You are a person, you have a particular jnanam. By that jnanam you are knowing something, isn't it? Jnanam by itself does not know anything. So jnana has no kartrutva in that. A person has a kartrutva. So that is what he says. Jnanasya kartrutva sambhavat yena jnanena vetti ityarthaha. So that jnanam in the shloka, that jnanam which knows. So that is what Krishna was saying. So what Krishna says, we have to understand this way. It is not the jnanam which is directly knowing, it is the person who is equipped with that jnanam who is knowing like that. So sarveshu bhuteshu, in all the beings, the jnanasya kartrutva sambhavat, because jnana cannot be the karta by itself, yena jnanena vetti ityarthaha, the person, the jnana by which one knows or understands a thing in a particular way. Is it okay? Is it clear?
Yeah.
So, Jnanam does not directly know. You and I, we, with the help of that Jnana, we see either unity, we see either diversity. If we see unity, that is Sattvika Jnana. If we see diversity, it is Rajasa Jnana. Then, Ityartha, where is this? Vetti Ityartha, okay. Tad Jnanam Vidhi Rajasam.
Tad Jnanam Vidhi Rajasam.
Rajo Nirvruttam. Rajo Nirvruttam means that which has been achieved, not achieved, Nirvruttam. It is a product of that which is the product. In this particular context, we have to write it, we have to treat it as that which is the product of Rajasa. That particular Jnanam which has come into existence because of this Rajoguna. It is a product of Rajoguna. That particular Jnanam, that particular understanding is as a product of Rajoguna. Then the next shloka talks about the Tamasa Jnanam. Yattu krutsnavadekasmin karye sakta mahaitukam ahetukam both are one. Ahaitukam atatvarthavad alpam cha atatvarthavad alpam cha Atatvarthavat alpam cha. Atatvarthavad alpam cha.
अतत्वार्थवदल्पं च
तत्तामसमुदाहृतं.
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Oh, there is a big print mistake in my book. Udahrum, okay. Udahrutam, my book, that tam is gone. Okay. Atatvarthavad alpam cha tat tamasam udahrutam. Okay. Yattu, yat, we are referring to jnana. Yat jnanam. That jnanam, on the other hand, two means on the other hand, yat is that particular jnanam. So we have seen two types. One is a unity, vision of unity. One is a vision of diversity. And now we are seeing a very, very narrow vision. A very, very narrow vision of a fundamentalist or a dogmatist. A person who is sticking on to a particular small level idea. And then he says his idea is the greatest and his idea is most correct. In fact, Shankaracharya's Bhashyam is really astonishing. It is astonishing as to how Shankaracharya is actually visualizing what is happening in the modern world. Shankaracharya is actually visualizing what is happening in the happening today. All the types of disputes because of this religious fundamentalism, religious extremism, all these things where Shankaracharya is visualizing here, it is really, that is why it is really astounding. The Bhashyam and the Shloka itself is so astounding. So, yat tu, that jnanam, on the other hand, that jnanam, krutsnavad. Krutsnam we know. Krutsnam means complete. Krutsnavad means as though that is the only thing in the whole world. Nothing else is there. Krutsnavad, as though that is the be all and end all. We use a word in English, be all and end all of the universe, we say. So that is the whole, that is the sum and substance, that is the whole, nothing else is there. What I say is the doctrine. So that is the foolish perception, that is what he says. That is the tamasa guna. Any religious fundamentalism is a tamasa guna according to this. So, Krutsnavad, ekasmin karye, in one vastu. Ekasmin karye, in one vastu, you catch hold of a small thing and you say that yes, this is the only right thing. So that is the vision. So Krutsnavad means as though that is the only thing, as though that is the whole. You take a small part and you say that is the whole thing. Nothing else is there. Kupastha manduka, in other words, it is something like a frog in a well. So like that, the ekasmin karye saktam. Saktam means you are attached to that, you are bound to that, you are attached to that. And in what manner? Ahaitukam. Ahaitukam or ahetukam. Ahaitukam can be tadhita pratyaya, ahetukam also is okay. Ahetukam is something which is illogical, something which is irrational. It is not founded on any reason. It is not founded on proper thinking. It is not founded on proper vichara. It is founded on some prejudices. It is founded on some sort of wrong perceptions. So that is what is ahetukam or ahaitukam. Then atatvarthavad. Atatvarthavat. This vat is matubarthaka here. You know the matubarthaka. That is dhanavan, gunavan. Like that, that is matubarthaka. Not like Ramavat, Krishnavat. Not in that sense. Atatvarthavat. Tatvarthavat means, tatvartha means seeing a thing as it is. Tatvarthavat means that jnanam by which you see a thing as it is. You can note down. Tatvarthavat. Tatvarthavat means that jnanam by which you can see a thing as it is. That means that jnanam by which you can see reality. So that is tatvarthavat. Not tatvarthavit. Tatvarthavit means again one who knows with. So this is tatvarthavat. That is something like arthavatvam, gunavatvam, dhanavatvam. So something like that. Tatvarthavat is, tatvartha is the reality, the real nature of a particular thing. Tatvarthavat means that particular, we are referring to jnana now. When we say tatvarthavat, we are referring to that jnana by which one knows the reality of a substance. So that is it. Then atatvarthavit means by which you do not know the reality. Atatvarthavit, you stick on to your foolish principle. You stick on to your fundamentalist doctrine. You say that my book is the rightest book and I am having the right to convert the whole world. If you don't convert, I can behead you. So that is the foolish type of thing which Shankaracharya is writing, and it is astonishing to see that. Atatvarthavit alpam cha. because you are holding on to a petty thing, atatvarthavit, it is something which is petty, alpam. Alpam is something which is petty, it gives you petty result. Alpam cha tat tamasam udahrutam. That particular vision is something which is tamasa. So these three things we have seen, that unity of vision of unity, vision of diversity, and foolhardy sticking on to some fundamentalist doctrine and saying that this is the ultimate truth. So this is what is there in this shloka. So is the shloka clear?
Yes, sir.
So here we are seeing a person who is a frog in a well type of man. So if the time is over, I think
Tat
we'll...
tamasam udahrutam.
Tamasam udahrutam. Udahrutam means is an example of tamasa. Udaharana, you know.
Ah,
Udahrutam means given as an example. So tat tamasam udahrutam means that is told as tamasa. Here of course it is not the example, that is the description of tamasa itself. Not exactly an udaharana, it is udahrutam. Now, we have to take the etymological meaning of udahrutam. That haru dhatu. Hru means harane. Taking. Ahruyate. Ahru. Udahrutam. So udahrutam means it is taken in that way. It is understood in that way. So whatever is say that particular knowledge or that particular vision which holds on to a small thing, and then it says that that is the only thing in the whole universe and nothing more is there, and that is the only truth. There cannot be any other truth. So that sort of vision is tamasa vision. So we'll see the bhashyam in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.